Hey everybody, I just wanted to share with you a new product that I've been playing with called Pigment Sprinkles. These are a highly pigmented powder that you can use for all sorts of watercoloring techniques. One of the things that I really like about these that are different from something that we had previously is that these are in actual Stampin' Up! Colors. So we've got Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green, Gorgeous Grape, Bermuda Bay, Daffodil Delight, and Mango Melody. And one of the things that I really like about these is that they come in these little bottles with a screw top lid, and then they have a little shaker top to shake out the powder, just enough, all that you need. So they're way more convenient to use than the ones that we previously had. So let me show you a couple of techniques using these pigment sprinkles. So this uses our new Fluid 100 watercolor paper, which is wonderful paper. It's just lightly textured, and it just takes water in these techniques so easily. So I'm just giving a little bit of a wash on here. It looks like I dripped just a little bit of that powder on here already. So I'm just getting this really saturated. And then I'm just going to sprinkle a few different colors on here. So I'm going to start out with the Granny Apple Green. So I'm just going to tap just a couple of taps, about like that. Let that kind of soak in. And then I'll add just a little bit more of the Bermuda Bay color. And so I'm just going to, again, just a couple of taps. I found with the Bermuda Bay, it's a really deep color, so it really doesn't take much at all. And then I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. I really like this combo of these three together, and I've done some fun projects with that already. As you can see, the colors are already starting to blend, and that makes a nice background just on its own. I like using the aqua painter and just kind of spreading those around a little bit. And as I start to pick up the next color, I'm just going to clean my brush off a little and then start in with the Bermuda Bay and start blending those two colors together. And just doing a light watercolor wash on the back or on this paper. And then coming up with the Gorgeous Grape and just blending that all together just to make a nice watercolor background. You can either let it sit like that, or if you want it just a little bit lighter, you can blot it with a paper towel just slightly and then set that aside to dry. And let me show you a couple of cards that I've done using that technique. This one I embossed first, and so this is an embossed resist, and then I did the watercolor wash over that. This one I just did pretty similar to what I just did, and then put a die cut on top of it. So I just did a watercolor wash on the paper to make a focal point for this card. And then this is another embossed resist, and it is actually a Dutch fold card. Let me see if I can back up enough. There we go. So that's just the Dutch fold card, and again I did embossed resist for that. So that's one technique using the sprinkles. Another thing that you can do is to sprinkle them onto a piece of dry watercolor paper. And so for this one, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of the Melon Mambo on here dry. Just a couple of little sprinkles there. And then a little bit of the Mango Melody. And I'm just, like I say, just sprinkling them on here dry. And then a little bit of Daffodil Delight to finish this one off. So I'm just gonna, that's gonna be plenty for that. It really doesn't take much. One little tap is all that it takes. And then I have some water in one of our Stampin' spritzers. So I'm just going to spritz a little bit of water on that and just let the colors start to blend together as I spritz it. There we go. And you can just let the colors meld together like that, or you could use an aqua painter, but I think it kind of makes a neat effect just to let the colors blend together. If you need to, you can, where some of this powder is a little bit darker, you can kind of blend that in. And just for a fun background, and here is a card that I did with that. And I just spritzed it. On this one, I did get a piece of cellophane and pressed down on top of the piece that I had sprinkled and sprayed, and came up with this background. Another thing that you can do is to actually paint images, create a palette. And so on this, I have embossed this image in silver embossing, and I've already put a little bit of the sprinkles in one of our embellishment containers, and just added a few drops of water. So I'm going to put a little bit of the green, and this one, even though it looks orange right there, once the water adds to it, it does become green. So I'm just putting a few little sprinkles in there, and I'm going to add just a little bit of water to that. I'm just going to add a few drops from an aqua painter just to paint with. And then with it being embossed, it does a resist, and so you can just start painting with it. So this is Melon Mambo that I've already mixed with water, and so I can just start coloring my image and just come in there. Using an embossed image really kind of helps give you a nice edge to your image that will hold the paint really well, or the sprinkles that you've mixed with water. And so you can just do that. You can blend colors, or you can just paint with a straight color like I am here with Melon Mambo. I'm just picked up a little bit on that aqua painter, and I'm just still brushing with that same amount of color. And you can just see how deep and rich these colors are. And so you can just kind of continue to paint with that until you have your image filled in. And so let me pick up just a little bit more color there. And I'm just going to continue to paint these petals like that. And again, this is just the straight Melon Mambo. And I'm just painting with that. You can use multiple colors to be able to get a little bit more variation, but I just like them even like they are. So I'm just going to blend this with a little bit of water for my leaves. This is the Granny Apple Green, and just going to come in here and color my leaves. This image is from a set called Magnolia Blooms. It's in a brochure that is called, it's kind of our beginner brochure. I know that our annual catalog can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming, so we have a smaller brochure called Experience Creativity, and it was designed for beginning stampers especially, and this is from one of the stamp sets in that brochure. It is available for anybody to order, so if you're interested in this stamp set, drop a comment below and I will be happy to give you the item number and how to order that. So that's how it looks, just coloring an embossed image. So here is a completed card where I have done that. That's just Melon Mambo and Granny Apple Green. This is one where I actually mixed several colors. I started out with Melon Mambo down here at the center, and I worked my way out with Mango Melody and Daffodil Delight, and then the leaves are just the Granny Apple Green. So that's another one where I embossed first and then colored in. This is another card, and it's again that Dutch fold, and on this one I actually created a custom color. I mixed several together in a palette, kind of like I did here in the lid, and came up with a color that really matches well with our Mary Merlot color, and I just colored in embossed images for that. This is one where I just did a background of blending 3 different colors together, the Melon Mambo, Mango Melody, and Daffodil Delight, and then just stamped on top of it with and embossed with black, and then had a black die cut on the front of it. And this is another one where I created a custom color. I mixed our Gorgeous Grape and Bermuda Bay and came up with a really nice kind of a denim blue color. But anyway, I have really had fun playing with these pigment sprinkles and hope that you will give them a try as well. I will drop a link in the comments with the ordering information, and just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Bye.